Hey Don. About the war in Ukraine, I'll give you my opinion on it from my level of knowledge. I believe it was wrong for Russia to invade Ukraine. It's not their country. It was Ukraine's country for a long time. I do believe we should have stayed out of it. Should always stay out of it. The reason we're involved in it is the corruption of Ukraine combined with the corruption of the United States. Come on, Shabby. Allows our politicians to line their pockets with hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars each politician who votes for the war in Ukraine. I'm sure they get money under the table over and over and over. Come on, Shabby. So that's why we're involved. It's because of corruption. Kennel. So, France getting involved, saying they're going to send troops. That's surprising. Therefore, because I think Macron could very well be the world leader who is wants to lead the Europe and be the leader of the world. Macron wants to do that. He could be that AC.
That's interesting, Mark. So I do have a hypothetical for you, and I'm curious to know which way you would go. If Putin's name was Adolf Hitler and he invaded Poland, would you say the same things? Would that be comparable? Would that be analogous? And would your response be the same thing, that this is just not our fight, it's not our business, and we should stay out of it because it's all a bunch of corruption?
Well, if he was Adolf Hitler, who hadn't, where World War II hadn't happened yet, so we would only know that we just don't like Hitler, and this is his first invasion. If I assume that's his first invasion, then I think other countries would warn him, and you didn't say whether NATO exists or not. But Ukraine, as I understand it, is not a NATO country. So I would think some countries would warn him just like they did when he invaded Poland. I think it was Poland first and then Czechoslovakia. I don't remember the order. So, and then Austria. I don't remember when that one was either. But since it's his first country, I certainly would stay out of it as the United States. Now, the countries closer to Ukraine might have their own ideas. And I figure they would say no as well, just like they are doing. They're pretty much staying out of it. Well, they're not. They're giving money. They're donating weapons and stuff, and we're giving money, but it's not going to the soldiers, to my knowledge. So, yeah, I'd stay out of it.
Yeah, Poland was the first country that Germany invaded and attacked and took over. And the response was for England and France to declare war in 1939 on Germany. That was their immediate response. Of course, we didn't. We were, you were with the majority back then, Mark. Americans didn't want anything to do with it. They were sick of war. World War I still seemed sort of fresh in the minds of Americans at that time, and they wanted nothing to do with European wars anymore. Now, had they known that Nazi Germany was intent on conquering the world, they might have had a different attitude right away. But since it wasn't happening in their backyard, they were like, let's stay out of this. Kind of like they're doing with Putin now. Some people, myself included. And what's kind of interesting is the one big difference, and that is nuclear weapons. There was no United Nations back then. There was no NATO. Was there a League of Nations? I don't know. I can't remember. But certainly no NATO. So I guess in hindsight, the majority of Americans, you could say, were a little bit wrong, considering the nature of the enemy, or enemies if you include Japan and Italy.